Hello and welcome to the Bivouac Stories podcast. My name is Dalibor, I'm from the Czech Republic and I'm a huge fan of rally racing. I'm a very curious guy and after watching the Dakar race this year, I got the idea to interview riders not only from there, but travelers and pioneers of adventure riding too. The first one in this series is none other than Tobias Ebster, the youngster from Austria, who won the Malle Moto unassisted category at Dakar this year on his first try. So sit back, have a cup of coffee, and enjoy. So Tobias, welcome. And as most of our readers have heard about you this January, but for those of us who haven't, could you introduce yourself just quickly, who you are?
Of course. My name is Tobias Ebster. I'm 26 years old, coming from Austria, and just finished off my first Rally Dakar. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. What do you do other than riding bikes?
I'm working. I'm normal working. I'm working in a company. Like we are making some heat to dry the ski shoes. You know, when you're going skiing and the ski shoes there have to be dry, and I'm building up like heaters and stuff like that. And on the evenings I'm delivering pizzas. So yeah, I'm working.
Okay, good. How did you start with dirt bikes? How did you get involved in this sport? And was it motocross or enduro? What came first?
Yeah, it was just motocross. Like it's like 20 years ago when I was like 5 years old, 4 years old. I got my first bike. Like in my family, you know, it's of course everybody. Or let's say one person was racing. What was my uncle Heinz Kindergartner, who made two world championship titles, and then started with rally. And yeah, since then on, I always watched rally, of course. And in the beginning, I was riding motocross, but only like normal championships in Austria. And yeah, then a few years ago, he asked if I want to go riding with him in the desert. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. I like it. How can I do more about that? And then we were racing the Hellas Rally together. He was in a buggy. I was in the bikes category, and there have been like 364 competitors. I finished second. I was 23 years old then, 22. It was no 23. It was back in 2021 because before there was Corona.
Yeah.
And so 2021 that was my first Hellas Rally. I finished second, and after that, I went to the European Championship where I was racing against Stefan Svitko. I think all of you know him.
Yeah.
And yeah, my uncle, he was like, okay, hey, there you can watch if you have the speed to go with the top guys. And I beat him, I think, 2 times or 3 times, and I finished second overall. So that's where the point was like, okay, I'm really good at it, what I do. So I want to go further and further. And so I quitted my main job, let's say, and I was just going full all commitment into rally. And yeah, so for now, of course, I'm working normal, but it's like side jobs, you know. So it's not that I have to be in the company from Monday to Friday for 8 to 10 hours per day. So that's not. So I can train a lot, and I can do a lot, and also have a lot of free time to ride. And 2022, I made the European Championship title, and then I got invited to the Dubai Baja World Cup final, which I won also. They told me, okay, hey, when you're doing good, you can go to the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge. And with the win in the Baja, I won the entry fee for the Desert Challenge. And then he said to me, okay, you have to do good again, because if you win the Road to Dakar Challenge, you get the golden ticket to the Rally Dakar. So that was my goal, let's say, because I knew, okay, if I win this Road to Dakar Challenge, I can save 18,000 euros of entry fee for the Dakar. So I went all in, and I won the Rally 2 category. I won the Road to Dakar category, and I finished, I think, seventh overall or eighth overall, something like that. So I was kind of in between those factory guys, and which was pretty cool. And yes, and now I finished off my first Dakar with the in the Malle Moto category. So it was just basically me a box and a tent, and I had to set it up every day. And I won the Malle Moto category. I won the rookie category, and I finished overall in 20th position. So it was really cool because there was no one ever before who was that high up in the rankings in the overall category. There was also nobody before who finished a stage inside the top 10 overall. I finished ninth, and I won a Rally 2 stage, which also
Yeah.
never happened before. So that was, yeah, pretty cool, let's say.
That's really impressive. So your first rally ever was Hellas, and you
Yeah.
finished second.
Yes.
Did you have any previous navigation experience, or how did you practice for that?
No, nothing like the first time. Me and Heinz, we were sitting in the office, in his office, let's say, and he was just showing me some symbols, and I thought like, okay, what is this? It looked like, I don't know, like Chinese, or which is something I didn't understand. So I got more and more into it, and then I had the luck for now, let's say, that I had a PS4 and the Rally Dakar, the game. So I was just training with this. So of course, in the real life, it's really different completely. But the main fact is that you know all the symbols, you know all what it means. So that helps you, or that helped me a lot, let's say. So that's how I started. Yeah.
Okay. Would you recommend it to others to jump straight into Hellas Rally as their first raid, or start in something smaller?
I would prefer, like, if I was going back, I would do the Oasis Rally, which is held off in March in Tunisia, because also from a money perspective, it's like nothing compared to bigger rallies. It costs about, I don't know, let's say with flights, with entry fees and everything, it costs you about 3,500 euros, which is nothing for a desert rally. And in March we are going to be there again in Tunisia. Me, Heinz, and also his son, my cousin Hannes. We're going to be there with around 150 people in total. So yeah, I would recommend you to do that, of course, because there you get really the first experience riding in the desert. And also, if you don't like it that much, at least you rode your bike in the desert, which is not everybody to do it. So I would definitely do that, and after I would go to like a Hellas Rally or so, because the level is much higher.
Okay. And you did this the first time on a rented bike, or you already had a replica, or was it on your 450 motocross
Oh, it was
bike?
I had a 450 Enduro, so it was on my bike. So this is pretty cool, because also in the entry fee there is like included the bike transport from the Kini shop from Tirol, from Austria to Tunisia, there and back. So this is cool. So you just have to jump on the plane with your helmet, or not even the helmet, you can put everything in, jump on the plane to Jerba, race 1 week, and then you can go back. So this helped me a lot, and I also know that it helps like beginners a lot. So I would definitely do that.
Just out of curiosity, do you know if it's possible still to sign up this year, or it's full?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think we are full, but I don't know for now. Or let's say they are full. I'm just there as a advertiser, let's say. But I'm not sure. But of course I can ask, or you can ask, or anyone who sees this can ask, because it's in about 1 month, 1.5 months time. So it's pretty close there.
Okay. I'm very curious about this 450 bike that you used on the European circuit. Is there any particular reason why this bike, or why you chose a 450 over smaller engines? Do you think there is an advantage of using a smaller one than 450?
No, definitely not. Like, I would never go to a Hellas Rally. Of course, me, like for now, yes, for training. But as a beginner, I would never go with a 450 rally bike to the Hellas Rally or so, because there are so many tight corners and stuff like that. So with the 450 Enduro, it is like perfect, because you almost cannot destroy it, and it's long days, really long days. So if you go at European rallies, I would always prefer a 450 rally. And as soon as you go into the Enduro, sorry, and as soon as you go into the desert, I would recommend you a 450 rally.
Okay. I meant even smaller than that, like a 350 Enduro, for example, because that's a very easy bike to ride.
Yeah, that's also possible, but I would not go down below 350. But yeah, 350, 450 is like the perfect bike, let's say, for this kind of terrain.
Okay. Other than fuel and navigation, what are the three most essential modifications you made to this Enduro bike?
Nothing. Just a
Nothing.
navigation tower, a bigger gas tank, and that's it. You need nothing more.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that because most people, they put different kind of handlebar, steering damper, bigger foot pegs, but you kind of run it stock. Um, is there any particular reason? Are you so much used to it from motocross, or was it just you didn't mind, you were okay with it?
I mean, the first thing I didn't mind, but the second thing is also like I see a lot of guys putting on a big navigation tower from Raid Garage or stuff on this bike, and like for me personally, what I've seen in the past, for me it's too big because I like to see when my front tire is turning, and when you have like this kind of big navigation tower on, it's not possible.
Mhm.
And of course, if you crash, the damage is much worse because it's so big. Um, so I would not prefer it because it's also from the bikes in the past that I've seen, it always breaks. So I would never go with a big navigation tower. Like I have one from Moto, which is a company in Austria, who are making it as a side shop, and it's so easy to install. It's just four screws in, put the navigation like the roadbook on with the speedo cups or with the grip masters on, and that's basically it. And when you want to go for enduro, put four screws out, put the cables away, and you can go riding enduro again. So
Yeah.
I would
So
prefer this.
this Hashimoto solution includes something with the head mask, or with the headlight that you can fit more cables in. Because
Yeah.
okay,
Yes,
okay,
this is pretty cool because normally you have the rubber bands to
yeah,
put
yeah,
it
yeah.
on the fork, and here not. Here you have like this metal construction on, and where the rubber bands are normally in the light mask, you can just click them in. So it's very good because you have much more space for the cables. And also the navigation tower is a little bit to the front. So if you stand up on the bike, you don't need to lean that much backward to see everything. So I would definitely prefer that, not only for beginners but also for pros because it's easy. It's really simple. It's not expensive, and
Yeah.
it makes the job. So
I came to the same conclusion, so that's why I'm very curious. But I struggled a bit with the cables, so yeah, this is really helpful. Thank you. Just checking in with you. We're about 16 minutes in. Are we still
oh,
okay
it's
to
no
continue?
problem. I We can do a little bit longer also. It's just that my sister is in the next room and she's a little bit sick, and we have to clean the rooms so that the next tourist can come. So, but all good.
Okay. Good. Um, then up to the factory replica bike. How much did you modify it from when you got it from KTM? Did you do anything to make it even more sturdy? Like do your own wiring or replace some screws? Any modifications to the factory replica?
The only modification that I personally did was I had to put on the different roadbook holder because for now we have to run with the digital one. So I just, let's say, removed four screws, put the normal roadbook away, and put it the adapter on to get the digital roadbook on. So
Mhm.
that's all I did. I mean, of course, I did a little bit with suspension, like making it a little bit more stiff, but it's like stock, like,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
completely stock.
Did you do any maintenance, like bigger maintenance to it before you went there, like changing the engine internal parts or things like this, or was
No,
it
nothing.
pretty new?
Nothing. It is completely new
Uh huh.
because my problem was that I broke my shoulder in Rallye du Maroc.
Yeah.
After 1 month later, I broke my wrist, which was not so bad, which was not so good. So I didn't have any time to train on this bike before I jumped on it to the Dakar. Uh,
Yeah.
was not so cool because I had to bring it to Barcelona on the 1st of December so they can ship it down to
Mm.
Saudi Arabia. And after that, at the shakedown was my first time ever on this bike, and also my first time after my crash in Morocco. So it was,
Yeah.
so everybody was pretty curious. Okay, hey, can he race? Can he do it? And I'm like, yes, I can. I needed a lot of painkillers, of course, but overall, I'm finished, so I'm good.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, I saw in one of the videos that you had a kind of maintenance checklist. Is that something you really went through every day? You checked all the screws and all the torques, and how much time did it usually take?
Now, I just did like the basic stuff. Like I changed every day the oil, every second day the oil filter, every day the air filter. I removed the air out of the forks. What did I do? I checked the train if it's still tight, if it's still good, and that was basically it. I mean, of course, I marked before I went down there. I marked every screw, so if it's tight or not. But I don't think that this is a modification.
Mhm.
So yes, I kind of did like the normal stuff, and then on the rest day, I changed the clutch, but it was not necessary because I had a mechanic from the factory there to check because it's also was my first time, or let's say one of my first times, and I asked him, okay, hey, should I change it or should I not? And he was like, why? It does not look used, but check it for safety. And the same was with the brake pads. I changed my rear brake pads on stage 9. So, and I did not have had to change them, but I changed them because I was like, okay, hey, they're still good. I think I can still run on them for the last few days, but I was like, okay, no, I don't gonna risk anything. So yeah, and I changed the chain and the sprocket. That's the only things, let's say, that I changed on the rest day. It took me like every day about, I don't know, 1 hour, let's say. I mean, also the tires. The factory guys were running with a new tire every day, and I raced the whole Dakar with 4 rear and 4 front tires. So, yeah.
Is that because you had to, or it was just not necessary to use more?
No, it was not because I had to, but I was like, okay, no, if it's still okay, like if the rubbers are still on, if the tire is not cut, I was like, okay, hey, I can go the speed with if I can go the speed with a used tire, I can definitely go with a new tire. And for that, I was like, okay, no, like putting on every day a new tire, front and back, is really expensive because, like, I don't know, a front tire with mousse inside with BIB and one back
Yeah.
tire with BIB inside is around, I don't know, one set
Okay.
is 600 euros. No, more. Yeah, so like 600, 700 euros. So it's like every day not throwing away, but like, okay, half a thousand there, half a thousand there. And I
Yeah.
was like, and after the rest day, I was like, okay, I have in the Malle Moto category, I already had like over an hour lead. So I was like, okay, no, it's not that necessary for me. And of course, in the future, when I don't have a good tire, let's say, I also need to know, okay, how it works. Like, how is it moving in the stones? How can I do it with that? Because the special stages have been very long, like up to 624 kilometers. And of course, at the end of the stage, the tire does not look like as it has been in the first kilometer. So it was like kind of trying out, figuring out how it works also for the next Dakar, let's say.
Okay. Okay. It's interesting to see that you, somebody who won the Motul class, is so very conscious of their budget. So that
Yeah.
leads me to another thought. How much did you fund this out of your own pocket, and how much your sponsors helped out of percentage, if you could?
Yeah. Like out of percentage, it was like 60. Yeah, 60% the sponsors, 40% has been on me and my family. I don't count my family as sponsors because they work also for me. So we are a team, let's say. I mean, like my father also has a second job to go for. So when I'm not working in this company, my father goes there. Uh, so yeah, they're putting in a lot of money in me. So that's why I say like 60% of sponsors and 40% of me.
Okay, that's the fees and the expenses. What about the bike
Yeah.
fluid? Did KTM supply that, or you had to buy it?
No, I didn't need to buy it. So that was from the Kini shop. So I don't know actually if Heinz bought it from the Kini shop or if he asked KTM if I can have it. I don't know really about that. But what I know is when the bike is coming back now, I have to give it back. And yeah, I have to ask if I can use it maybe for Portugal. Because in Abu Dhabi in 1 month time, I'm going to use a different bike. So I
Okay.
will see. But it was, let's say, I cannot say it was sponsored, but it was like they borrowed it to me.
Yeah, yeah. So you already touched upon my next subject, and that's the next rally. So you're going to this Oasis, then Portugal. Are you going to participate in the Rally Raid Championship with all the events?
Yes, I try to do everything. I mean, of course, it's a budget thing also. I have good contacts in Dubai with Sean, who is the Husqvarna importer from KTM, Husqvarna and GasGas. So he's the dealer, let's say.
Mhm.
And he's a really, really good friend of mine. He helped me a lot. Like also last year at the Desert Challenge, without him, I couldn't do it. And this year it is like the same. Without him, I cannot do it. So he helps me a lot. And yeah, we're still trying to get there. Normally, it's not the problem. We just have to take a look with a bike because bikes are, let's say, not that costing a lot. So yeah, but Desert Challenge is 90% for sure right now. I'm in the W2RC, so I made really good points at the Dakar already. And then Portugal, I'm gonna go for sure because it's not far away. So maybe I can have this bike again because I can ride with my own camper down to Portugal. It's not that far, let's say. I mean, it's 30 hours of drive, of course, but that's, I mean, better than doing some other stuff. Like for Abu Dhabi, it would not be possible. So it's like I'm doing the Desert Challenge. When the Desert Challenge is over, I'm flying directly from Abu Dhabi to Tunis. And I'm not going to participate in the Oasis Rally, but I'm kind of there because there are a lot of friends, but also like a lot of fans who say, okay, hey, they want to race here. Is there any chance to meet you? And so Kini said, okay, hey, yeah, come here, go race with your friends, go race with your fans a little bit. And then is Portugal upcoming. Of course, I want to do Rallye du Maroc, but I don't know for now with Argentina because it's so expensive. It's like for 5 days of racing, it's like 30 to 35,000 euros. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's a lot.
And in these races, you will be racing in the Rally 2 category, right? There
Yes,
isn't, there
definitely,
isn't. Yeah, yeah. So
definitely. Like
with
the
some.
Dakar was the only race I did in the Malle Moto. Um, this is the real deal, but it's also like it's not that expensive, let's say, because it saves you around also like 30 to 35,000 euros because you don't have to be in a team. So it saves you a lot if
Yeah.
somebody want to go on an adventure, let's say.
Okay. Okay. I noticed also that not only in Dakar but in Croatia, people noticed that you were kind of, always in good mood. You looked rested. Suggests that you're really fit and well prepared for racing. What's your secret? How do you physically prepare, and how do you keep your body going during these events?
I
Because
mean,
those were
in
like
the
others. Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah,
Like
no problem. Yeah.
I noticed on Adrian Beveren, veteran, super experienced. He looked completely down
Yeah.
spent every day. Yeah, but you, that's smiles and making interviews and.
Yeah, I think this is also the point. I mean, they have to do it for a living. For me, for now, it's adventure. Of course, I want to go for a factory contract, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job. But they have to go all in from the first to the last kilometer. I mean, of course, I was on speed. Of course, I went with gas, but I was not going with 100% because I know, okay, hey, it's a long rally. I know I have to do everything by my bike by myself. When I come back from the race, I have to maintain my bike. I have to do everything. If I crash, I'm fucked. So that's why I was like, okay, I need to slow down a little bit. I mean, on stage 5, when I won the Rally 2 stage, that's what, yeah, let's say that is where I'm normally are because I know I'm super fast. I know I can do it really pretty well, really good. But even that, I was not really that exhausted that I was like, okay, boah, I need to go to sleep for now. So, because I made, I think, a really good strategy that I said, okay, on the chrono stage, it was stage 6. So I had to start in front of like Brett Cox and Dovese and Mulets and everybody. And they had to fight for the Rally 2 category. So, of course, I was in the Rally 2 category, but I really, really had to push myself down that I'm not trying to give full gas, because I knew if I go with them, I'm gonna risk a little bit too much. And I was going out of my comfort zone because they were fighting for positions. And for me, the Rally 2 class was not the main goal, let's say. The main goal was like making a good overall result, but also winning the Malle Moto category and the rookie category. So I had to slow down myself. Yeah, because I knew that one of them gonna crash out, and one day after, Lucci crashed out. So, and all these guys like Tony Mulets, and they have been really exhausted. I mean, they're super fit and everything, yeah, but they have been like really exhausted. Sometimes when I came through the finish line, some of these guys have still been there lying on the ground, like breathing hardly and stuff like that. And so that's why I was like, okay, it's my first one. Main goal is I need to finish, because it's good that I won, let's say, a Rally 2 stage and I finished inside the top 10, but I knew it means nothing if I don't finish this one off. So that was like in my head, and I think I did that decision really, really clever. Like, of course, I made some mistakes, like navigational wise, I made some mistakes or missed a waypoint, stuff like that. But I think that's kind of normal for the first time. So I'm good with that. How I prepare, of course, I work a lot. So I have to do a lot from the morning till the evening, or let's say till the night, with my hands. And I'm, yeah, so it was like, I'm trying to do a lot, like also rowing at my home with my home gym that I have. So I can just go, I can just go down to the house and train there, like making a lot of hours on the home trainer and stuff like that. So like when I'm on the home trainer for, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, next to it I play Rally Dakar the game. There the special stages are also like, I don't know, 470 to 500 kilometers, and it also takes you like 50 minutes per stage. So it's like, okay, hey, I do 2 or 3 or 4 stages and I'm good with training. So I won the Dakar, I don't know, I think 10 or 12 times or something like that, but in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's say for now in the game.
Okay, okay. How about during the events themselves? Like, how do you take care of your body? Maybe in
Like,
terms of nutrition as well. Like, what do you
yeah,
eat before and during the day?
yes, definitely. Like, but this work also started before I was even leaving, because me and my sister, we prepared like from 5 or 6 different cups. We were like, okay, 1 spoon of this, 1.5 spoon of this. So it's like normal stuff, like salt, magnesium, vitamin B, guarana, so maltodextrin, so stuff like that that helps your body. But I also had like 1 cup for from the morning. That was the first thing that I did in the morning. I took like a pill to wake up, but all like from nature stuff, so nothing chemical stuff, because that would not be allowed also. So I did that, and after that I drink like maltodextrin, so that my body already has like too much of this inside. So when I started, I filled up my camelback. I took like one cup of this, which we prepared already. Okay, put this in with 3 liters of water, and then the other half. So the first half in the morning, and the second half when I was at the refueling, let's say. And when I came home again, I was going inside the bivouac, and yeah, I did kinda the same thing. I was drinking like maltodextrin, and yeah, we have there a good company in Tirol. It's called Sportlabor Tirol, and there they also have like some pills which I took, like salt pills, vitamin B, just the good stuff, but also like the legal stuff, so that I don't have any problem with that. But you also have to to try this before you go on a race, because if the body's not used to that, you go behind the next person and have to take a shit because your body's not used to.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what happened to me on stage 7, I think, where I ran out of my painkillers because on stage 2 I had a lot of pain in my rib. I cracked the rib, so I had to take every day painkillers, and it's on the stage 7 at the refueling at the last, like we had 480 kilometers of special stage, and on kilometer 395 or 380, I think we had the last refueling, and I asked someone for a painkiller, and my body was not used to it, and I was feeling unconcentrated. I didn't have the strength. I missed a waypoint. I lost a lot of time, and I was like, "Wow, I just want to try to go to the finish." And the first thing when I reached the finish, I made some interviews, of course. Then when I was leaving for the liaison, I had to go behind the first bush, and everything came out of my body because I was not used to it. So this is a really, really big thing. And when what I'm eating in between the races is normal Cliff energy bar, something with nuts, something with proteins, also like caffeine booster from Power Bar. Um, when I feel tired for the first time, I'm taking a nip, and it's okay again. So, and I mean, of course, it's long days, but I mean, it should be doable for, I don't know, like for the persons, for factory guys, or like for guys who are doing it for a long time. So I think I did really, really good with that. Also, like you said, every time when I was coming in the finish, everybody told me like, "Hey, did you race or did you watch?" Because he was exhausted. I'm not like, I'm just having fun. It's my first time here. I watched a lot of the landscape. It was so beautiful, also. So I had a lot of fun out there, and I didn't push myself to the limit. So I was good for that, let's say.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was very thorough. I would be interested if we could later make it specific about the cups you said you prepare. I have maybe one last question, and that's about the digital road books. You already have some experience with it now, and before this event, I saw some modifications with cardboard and duct tape.
Yeah.
What's your take on it so far, like compared to the paper road book, and can it really be the primary means of navigation in the future?
I think definitely yes. Like at the Rallye du Maroc, it was my first time also, and there I was not happy about it because I didn't understand it. How can they? How can the Rally GP riders race with the normal one? The first 10 of the World Championship in the Rally 2 category race with the normal one, and everybody else have to go with the digital one. So I was very pissed about that, let's say. And I also had a lot of problems with it because I couldn't see it. And I was talking to Castera and to people, and I was like, okay, you have to do something about it because otherwise nobody gonna run it. But here at the Dakar, like in the Rallye du Maroc, they told me already, okay, hey, they're gonna make some changes. Thank you for your help. And in the Dakar, for me personally, I only had one time a problem, which was on stage 11, where my digital roadbook was not working. Like it was on, but I couldn't do anything with the switch. So I thought maybe the switch was a problem, but it was not, because when you put the touchscreen on the tablet, it was also not working. So it was like frozen in. So that was the only problem that I had for the rally. I think in 14 days, 8,000 kilometers. I think that's really good, and it is really, really good how much time it saves you and also energy. Like in the morning, you have to prepare your roadbook. You have to put it in. You have to be careful that you don't rip it or don't cut it. So you just go into your zone with the GPS code. It comes in, and I didn't had a problem. Like also when the sun was behind me, I did not had any problem to not that the tablet was not readable. So yes, definitely, I think it's definitely for the future. I mean, of course, a lot of people want to have it because they save a lot of trees and stuff. But besides that, I think it's really good. And in my opinion, they have to do like, of course, they have to do like uh, more work on it. That something like this, that it freezes in, that this not happens. But as soon as I came into the finish, one guy from ERTF came, switched my roadbook, and that was good for the last days. So all in all, I was really impressed how they made changes, and also that quick, because Rallye du Maroc is not, I don't know, a year ago. It was only like 2 months ago. So it was really, really good. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it from my side. Do you have any last words? Something you would like to say to our audience, which is most likely hobby rally riders and adventure
Yeah.
riders?
Of course, definitely. Thank you so much, Dalibor, for doing this, for sharing our passion. I hope to see you one day in a European rally, because I don't know for now if I'm going to go back to one of the rallies, but it could be easily that I go with a sponsor of mine or a friend of mine, just for riding, for enjoying. So thank you for sharing the passion, and to everybody out there who want to know more about rally, or who want to know, okay, how can I get a cheap navigation tower and stuff like that, or how can I get introduced into rally? Don't hesitate, just ask me. I am a person, I text everybody back, because I think it's also a respect thing. So if somebody has a question, just ask me or ask Dalibor, and then he can ask me, and just do it. Have fun.
All right. Thank you. And that was it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. I will be releasing more interviews in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye on this channel. Ride hard and be safe.